Welcome, everyone. Welcome in. Today's session is simple. Ask me anything about resilience. We will talk about the characteristics of a resilient individual, and that includes self awareness, adaptability, reflection, consistency, and courage. And of course, there's more, there's always more. But these five characteristics are going to be the talk for today and answer your questions around those, and because these are the most prominent characteristics of a resilient person. Drop your question in chat and let's build this conversation together. And I am looking on here to see if there is a way I can add uh add these. Oh, I guess not. Okay. I was looking for a way to actually add a text overlay right here in the live uh, window, but I don't see that. I don't see that option. I guess I was looking for something similar to the text overlay I use in TikTok. And what is wrong with my scar? Okay. So we're talking. Maybe I can add it in the chat. How about that? Let's do that. Let's add it in chat. That way, there we go. There we go. Okay. Let me see if I can pin the message. Yes. Okay. Awesome. Okay, that will take place of a text overlay, and I can't seem to fix this. Okay. Let's forget about it. All right. Oh, I can share a screen. Oh, I could have done that. That's okay. Um well, the conversation around resilience is the following. Um you hear someone talk about anything and you hear the characteristic, the word, the adjective resilient comes up, right? This person is resilient. This person is shown resilience and such similar descriptions. And the biggest question on a lot of people's minds is, well, how do I become resilient? How do I get to this level of resilience so that I can do all the things you're doing and I can become part of this conversation where I'm being described as someone who is resilient? And this is what I'm going to talk about today. How do you get to that level of resilience? How do you become a resilient individual? Because the good news is it's possible. It's not something you have to be born with. It's something that you can actually work on, develop, and uh, make part of your personality. So it's not something that some people have and others just continue to struggle without any solution. The great news is that we can all develop resilience and we can learn that and make it part of who we are so that we don't struggle. Because that's the whole point, is that, okay, well, let's go back a few. We do struggle in life. You're not going to end the struggle, but you're going to learn how to deal with it, and you're going to learn how to use that for your advantage and how to learn from it and how to overcome it. These are the things you're going to learn. But you don't stop struggle. That wasn't the right thing to say. um and this is an old message. Okay, so then what is it about resilience that we can learn? Well, let's start from one of the most important things, and it's self-awareness. When you when you are resilient, you have self-awareness. Self-awareness helps you learn about yourself. It's exactly what is meant by self, the word self and awareness is that you become more aware about yourself. What about yourself that you become more aware? Well, your habits, your routines, your decisions, the decisions you make, the behavior, your actions that you take, and why you make them, why you do them. Um, you understand, you start becoming more self-aware about your behavior, but you also understand what are your strengths, what are you really good at, what do you struggle with, what are you impatient about, where do you have most energy, what drains your energy, all of these things. Now this doesn't develop overnight. This isn't something that you decide one day, you wake up in the morning and you say, I'm going to be self-aware today, I'm going to become self-aware. That's not how this works. It's something that you need to, yes, you have to take that first step. You have to decide that you want to do it. You want to become self aware. And then you have to practice self awareness. And this is how you do it. You start observing the actions that you take. You start looking at the things that you do, your behavior, and asking, why did I do that? You take a few seconds sometimes to pause. Sometimes it just takes seconds to pause and kind of think about what you did, why you did it, and how you did it. All of these things. You want the what, you want the how, you want the why. You want the what you did because maybe is different than others, maybe it is similar to others. Maybe you are looking at somebody and doing what they're doing. Maybe you're yourself, subconsciously doing that without thinking. So it really helps to see what you do. How? Because also the how could differentiate you from other people. It could also maybe put you in the same plate as someone else. And then the why. Why did you do it? Is it because that's the only option you have? Is it because that's how you were raised? Is it because? So there's so many different possibilities of why somebody does something. But I want you to pay attention to it. I want you to actually pay attention to your actions, what they are, how you actually get them going, and why you make these decisions. So, while you are pausing and looking into your behavior, you're going to start to learn more about yourself. Are you doing something because you can? Because you have the ability to? Because you're able to? Because that's what your most skills lie in? Or is it because somebody told you and you have to do it, you have to do it no matter what, no matter if you believe in it or not, you have to do it. Okay, think about it, the more you think about it, you're going to discover more about yourself. So I'm not saying with self-awareness to do, oh, I'm going to take 1 hour to pause. It just takes a few seconds every time you make a decision or you take an action to think about what you did, why you did it, how you did it. Okay. It really gaining self-awareness will help you notice your stress triggers. It'll help you notice what energizes you the most. It'll help you notice where your skill set is, what you're really passionate about. You'll gain so much insight into yourself. If you're watching this replay later on, I want you to comment which one of these you struggle with the most. The first one we just talked about is self awareness. And if you've ever had to rebuild from burnout, from a state of exhaustion, I want you to type reset in the comments. Which of these five do you want to focus on this week? Um, if there's a lot of work to be done, start small. Select one item to focus on. One item to focus on. Thank you for spending time with me. Let's talk. Let's talk. First one, as we said, is self-awareness. Now let's talk about the second one is adaptability. How do you do that? Resilient people cannot be resilient without being adaptable, without being flexible, without being the kind of people that just go with the flow. How many times in your life have you had a plan, perfect, beautiful plan laid out that you spend so much time on and it didn't go your way? What did you do if it didn't go your way? What would you do? Do you start criticizing yourself for not being prepared enough, for not seeing or not for foreseeing the future or predicting some unforeseeable factors? Do you start blaming other people around you, maybe who helped you put it together? Do you start blaming, I don't know, the weather for going bad or the time for not being decent enough time for you to work on? What do you do? Because none of these things that I just mentioned are actually going to be helpful to help you proceed in your plan and do the action that you set out to do. The only thing that'll help you is becoming adaptable. And that is the ability to pivot when things change, when life shifts, when the plan is no longer the plan. If it doesn't go your way, then have the ability to say, okay, what's next? Accept that there is change, there's unpredictability. It could happen at any time. Things shift all the time, and be okay with it. Now let's focus on the what we can do. Now let's focus on the remaining time that we have and see what we can do with it. That's the adaptability mindset. Now let's focus on what's in our control as opposed to trying to think about all the factors that led to being to something not being successful and just being upset about it and panicking about it. Now, if you are regularly a a type of person who gets upset and gets panicked and doesn't know what to do after something fails, building adaptability is also possible, but with time and with small, tiny steps. It's not going to be something that you can develop overnight and become more adaptable. And by simply telling yourself, let me accept the facts and the factors, that's not going to help either. It has to come with small, consistent shifts. So do this. Here's a challenge for you. Think about the smallest thing in your life that you are used to. I can't think of something for you. You have to think about it, but something really, really tiny in your life that you are used to every single day and you have to do or you have to have. And let it go. Don't do it. That teeny tiny thing. And then let it go the next day and let it go the next day and let it go the next day. Just start with something really simple that isn't going to hurt your or impact your life tremendously and let go of that. and see what happens. Okay. So start with something really tiny. And over time, get used to not having it. That's how you build adaptability, one small step at a time. The next one is reflection. Now, when we talked about self awareness in the beginning, and without reflection, you can't really build self awareness. How do you become self aware when you don't take time to reflect about your behavior? So, what does reflection look like? And it's not I'm going to say this similar to what I said with self-awareness is not taking an hour or hours or a whole day to reflect. It's small simple moments in time that you decide that you're going to reflect. Let's say something happens and you're walking back to your desk at work. Use that time to reflect. Let's say you're driving home from work or going from home to work. Use that time to reflect. It's not going to, I don't want you to think reflection is a long process, takes days or hours or whatever. It's smaller pockets of time that you use to reflect. The other big thing about reflection is that I want you to think about is reflection isn't the purpose of reflection isn't to place blame, to see where can I place blame. Let's see what really happened. The purpose of reflection is so that you can analyze what happened and think of a different way to do it. Think about what happened during that time, what failed, what didn't go your way, and then how do you actually work on it. It's time for you to analyze, not place blame. So when you've got a setback in your life, that's when you start learning. That's when you start seeing the lesson in it instead of the obstacle with that reflection time. If you're just joining me, we're talking about resilience. We're talking about how to the different characteristics of resilient. Hi, Sparrow. Thanks for joining. Um, 5 characteristics of resilient people: self-awareness, adaptability, reflection, consistency, and courage. And so far, I've talked about self-awareness, adaptability, and now I'm talking about reflection. How do you reflect? A lot of us do this. We reflect by um looking at what went wrong and start blaming ourselves for having that thing go wrong, or blaming someone else. Oh my god, this is what, it's his fault. This is why things went wrong. Or criticizing our own actions and feeling really bad about ourselves. Reflection doesn't include that, people. Reflection should be that time you analyze your steps, the steps you took, the things you did, the words you said, and think about a better way of doing it the next time and the lessons that you learn. And this is when you reflect, you also learn about yourself. This is how you gain self awareness. Um, okay, so that's number 3. Number 4 is consistency. Now, I have asked you so far to build self awareness, to work on becoming more adaptable, and to reflect every day. Now, these will help, but you won't be able to build any of those things without becoming consistent, without being consistent with your actions. If, let's say, you decide, okay, I'm going to use my drive time to reflect, and you do it for one day, and then you do it the second day, but then you let it go. That is not being consistent. And unfortunately, you're not really going to build that reflective practice or process. You're not going to build that self awareness. You're not going to build that adaptability if you're not consistent with your actions. Um, if you are really busy, then I suggest selecting something small, one small action to focus on. Now, if you if you, let's say, you want to build all of these things, because adaptability, self-awareness, reflection, start with one of them. Don't be like, oh, I'm going to work on all of them. I'm going to work on all of these every single day. It's kind of hard to do that with your busy schedule and everything that you have to do. So instead, select one of these things and start on it. Start with reflection. Reflection's going to start to help you see your motivation, your strengths, your decision making, self-awareness. That's what I'm talking about. It's going to help you figure out about more about you, and you're going to learn and develop that self-awareness, and it's going to help you see how you've been adaptable or not adaptable throughout the day and start building that adaptability. So reflection is the best place to start. Again, choose one, start small, and do it consistently. And the last one is courage. A lot of times, fear stops us from doing a lot of things in our life. It stops us from taking next steps into things. So, courage, developing courage to take us the next step or to let go of something, get rid of a fear that you have, get out of this control mindset where everything has to be within your control. Let that go. There's so many things that you can become courageous about, because resilient people are courageous, and you create the courage also consistently, also over time, also by taking smaller steps. If you are just joining me, I'm talking about um, how to build your resilience. Or if you're watching the replay, I'm talking about how to build your resilience and the 5 characteristics of resilient people. And they are self awareness, adaptability, reflection, consistency, and courage. I want you to comment, which one of these 5 do you struggle with the most? And if you've ever had to rebuild after burnout or after a challenge or after a struggle, I want you to type reset in the comments. Which one of these 5 do you want to focus on this week? Choose one so that you can build that consistency. And don't be like, I'm going to work on all of them. I'm going to build all of them. I'm going to create a plan for all of them. Even the most detailed plans are not going to help if you have limited amount of time with everything else that you have to do. So select one, choose one of these, and focus on one small step that you can do, but make sure you're doing it consistently. Thank you so much for joining me, for spending this time with me, whether you are live or going to be watching later. I hope this helped you think about resilience in a new way, and I hope this helps you think about resilience for you and how you can build it. If you found value in this, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so that you don't miss the next live session or any other sessions about resilience. And if you want more resilience tips, connect with me on Instagram at leadwithimcan or at imcanleadership.com. Remember, resilience isn't your emergency response, it should be your default daily muscle. So keep training it, and I will see you next time.